Hi, it's me, Yelena with YTDesigns.com. Thank you for spending time with me. I'll make our videos short, sweet, and to the point because there's just not enough time for everything. So let's get to it. One of the many things we at Yours Truly Designs include in your purchase of our products is a file with multiple products in one hooping, in all three of the most common sizes. It saves that high-value commodity of time for other more important valuable things such as family time. But not all designers offer those hoopings with their products. We're here to help. And the purpose of this video is to show you how to use Embird to create a 4x4 hooping. So we use Embird in all of our editing of our files. And in this video, we're going to go ahead and show you that 4x4 hooping. Let's go ahead and get started. We've chosen the 4x4 hoop right here. And we're going to go to File and Open. We're going to choose the file that we're going to work with today. It's going to be this dolphin. At this point in time, you want to make sure that the colors of each of your items is the colors that you want it to stitch in. If you wanted the mouth to stitch in the same color as the eye, you would change the color at this point in time. But right now we're going to work on making a hooping so that more than one dolphin stitches in one hoop. So we're going to go ahead and move this dolphin to the top left hand corner of your hoop. We're going to use the rotate button and rotate it just a little bit so that it's more parallel but not fully. The reason we do this is because all of our files start stitching on the left and go clockwise or counterclockwise, so it'll start stitching here, and if you position them properly, you won't have stitches going over jumps. So we're going to go ahead and go back into select mode and right click, and we will go to corner. Now there's multiple ways to do it. You can do it manually. I find this is the easiest and the quickest and most beneficial way to do this. It just seems smoother to me. So this will give you four products and one list in one hooping. Let me show you what it does. You see, you risk these stitching over them. You have to specifically position it in just the right position. I find it more difficult, so we do it a different way. Right click, corner. This will create a mirror image of this product and then a mirror image of that product below here. My favorite is the rotate right button. The reason is it gives you more room. You still get the same amount of designs in your hooping, and it will not stitch over your jumps. So we go ahead and rotate right. You see we've gotten 4 dolphins in there, but now all of them are not stitching over themselves. We've got the top left, top right, bottom left. Now before we stitch these, I like to include a basting stitch so that you know how far your fabric needs to reach in your hooping. And also, in the case that you have a design with more fill than this one, what happens is it'll help hold the fabric down so it will not shift in the stitching. So we're going to go to File and we're going to go to Merge, and then we're going to find the product or find the basting stitch to which you can get a link. We'll have a link down below this video to the 4x4 basting stitch on our website, YTDesigns.com. So when I open it up or when I merge it with those 4 dolphins, it puts it to stitch afterwards. We need it to stitch above. So what we're going to do is we'll left click and just drag it up to the top, and then it's going to ask you, what do you want to do with this basting stitch? We're going to insert it before object, and that's right here on the right toolbar, the right panel. Now at this point you can choose each one of the items separately. I just like to go Control A, which chooses all of my dolphins and the basting stitch. And then what we'll do is we'll right click and we'll join. What this does is makes one file of all of them. But if you save at this point in time, you're going to stitch the eye, and then it's going to stitch the mouth, and then it's going to stitch each dolphin separately, and that defeats the purpose of a hooping. So what you need to do is right click again, or Control and Colors, and Shift Control K, or just choose, go into Colors and choose this. Now it's going to ask you this, and you're welcome to read through it. Some designs have been digitized deliberately to have a lot of color changes. We don't need that many color changes, so we're going to go ahead and continue sorting colors. At this point in time, if you did not check to make sure that your colors are not going to stitch out of order, or they're not going to merge together, you would choose no and go back through your design and make sure that that you have the different colors chosen for each part of the design that you don't want stitched together. In this case, we're going to go ahead and say yes. The maximal difference, we set it 0. So now what it's going to do, and if you want to check what it is that you've done to your design, you can just left click on each of these. This is not deleting them, it's just showing you what's stitching. So right now we've got the basting stitch, and then it will stitch the eye. And do you see where the jump is? It goes this way, stops here, and jumps. These are not running stitches, these are jumps, which you will be able to trim. Then there's the mouth, which will start on the left, go around, jump. Do you see where how it's not sewing over the jumps that you created in the hooping? And then it'll stitch the design. Now this one, I will say, see, it does go over and stitches over this jump. Sometimes that's just not preventable. At this point in time, you would add the back on to cover the back of your felty and stitch the final color, which is the outline of the dolphin. You go ahead and click File, Save As, choose the file ending that you like to use. When we create our zips, we choose all of the 9 typical, but right now I'm just going to click the PS, the most common, and we'll go ahead and click choose OK. Do not forget to change the name of your file somehow, otherwise you're going to save over your single and you'll lose the single file of whatever you were working on at this point in time. Since we are making a 4x4 hooping, I'm going to go ahead and choose 4x4, click Save, and it is now ready for you to stitch. Thanks for watching. Grab your free basting stitch at the links below, and if this video was helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check back with us soon for more tips and tricks.